Welcome to FinSight's Wealthier Way, brought to you by Finvesting. This is your go to podcast for decoding financial jargons, breaking down market movements, and simplifying wealth building strategies for everyday investors like you. Whether you are planning your first SIP, navigating market volatility, or dreaming of early retirement, we are here to guide you with actionable insights, minus the jargons. I am Narendran, your host and founder of Finvestin, and I believe financial wisdom should be accessible to everyone, not just the experts. So, plug in and power up your financial journey because wealth isn't just about how much you have, it's about how smartly you grow it. Quick reminder, play this episode at 1.5x for a better experience if you're short on time. In today's episode, we are diving deep into a topic that affects nearly every Indian household. That is nothing but debt. Today, we are going to transform how you think about borrowing money. Let me start with a question. Do you see debt as your enemy or a potential ally? By the end of this episode, you will understand how debt, when used strategically, can be powerful, wealth building rather than a burden. As we all heard a famous saying, if you buy things you don't need, you will soon sell things you need. This wisdom perfectly captures our topic today, the difference between productive and destructive debt. India's debt dilemma. Let's begin with a sobering fact. According to a recent report by Motilal Oswal, India's household debt has hit an all time high of 39.1% of our GDP in Q3, that is quarter 3 of financial year 2024. We are borrowing more than ever before. Home loans, credit cards, personal loans, buy now, pay later apps. Indians are loading up on debt at an unprecedented rate. But here's where I want to challenge conventional thinking. Zero debt isn't necessarily good. Yes, you heard that right. When debt used wisely, debt can help you create assets and increase your net worth. Let me explain. Taking a home loan to buy property, that's a wealth building move as property tends to appreciate over time while you build equity. Education loan that enhances your skills and earning potential. That's an investment on yourself with potentially high returns. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, makes this distinction clearly. Good debt is a powerful tool, but bad debt can kill you. The key is understanding the difference. Good debt typically helps you acquire appreciating assets or increasing your earning, but bad debt finances depreciating assets or your lifestyle expenses. The famous status debt trap. Now, let's talk about something I have witnessed far too often in my practice, what I call status debt. This is debt taken purely to maintain appearances or to show off. The common examples that include lavish villas way beyond one's affordability, extravagant weddings funded by loans just for social media content, and exotic vacations or the latest gadgets just bought on EMI to keep up with peers. And also, this includes the emotional issue that is scoped up with impulsive shopping. The famous Warren Buffett's partner Charlie Munger has a powerful perspective on this. The idea of excessive consumption and showing off is a peculiar human trait. If you really want to be rich, it's very counterproductive. Here's my personal rule that I share with my clients. Your total monthly EMIs should not exceed more than 20 to 25% of your monthly income. If you are above this threshold, you are in a dangerous waters. Financial freedom isn't defined by what you wear or where your vacation. It's about peace of mind and not losing your sleep over these bills. Let me share something profound from Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money book. The ability to do what you want, when you want, or for as long as you want is priceless. It's the highest dividend money pays. Smart debt management framework. Whether you already have debt or planning to take some, managing it intelligently from day one is crucial. I have developed what I call the Smart Debt Framework, consisting of five essential pillars. Step 1: Budgeting like a boss. Start by mastering your numbers. You should have crystal clarity on your monthly income, fixed expenses, that is, rent, groceries, utilities, EMIs, and discretionary spending, dining out, your entertainment purposes, and some subscriptions that we all do on all OTT platforms, and mainly your savings and investments. Use tools like the well known apps Walnut, Moneyfy, or even a simple Google Sheet. It's always good to know where your money goes. Once you understand your cash flow, you can prioritize debt repayments much more effectively. Consolidate debt strategically. If you're juggling multiple debts, consolidation can be a game changer. By combining several high interest debts into a single loan with a lower interest rate, you simplify your financial life and potentially save significant money. Explore options like top up on your existing home loan, typically the lowest interest rates among all, personal loan balance transfers with promotional rates, loans against fixed deposit, or your insurance policies. Debt management is about being strategic, not reactive. And step 3: refinance and restructuring. Interest rates fluctuate. If rates have dropped since you took your loan, or if your credit score has improved, refinancing could save you lakhs over the loan term. Shifting high interest personal loans to banks offering lower rates, refinancing home loans for better terms, restructuring loans to better match your current cash flow situations. Always check for hidden charges like prepayment penalties or foreclosure fees and factor those into your calculations. And step 4: automate and track. Automate all EMIs and loan payments to ensure you never miss a due date. This protects your credit score and saves you from late payment penalties. Use There are a lot of apps in the market. I personally prefer using it on my own bank apps. As investment legend John Bogle says, the miracle of compounding return is overwhelmed by the tyranny of compounding cost. This is especially true for debt, where interest compounds against you. Set up quarterly reviews of all your debt to ensure you are on track and to identify any optimization opportunities. And the final step: parallel investing. This is where most people get it wrong. Many wait until they have cleared all debt before they start investing. I strongly recommend doing both simultaneously. If you are repaying a 10 lakh home loan, start a modest 5 to 10k SIP in a balanced advantage or a flexi cap fund. This fund serves dual purposes. It becomes your repayment accelerator for the future. It provides a psychological win as you see your assets grow while debt decreases. As Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associate, advises, diversify well by balancing a portfolio of risk. This includes balancing debt reduction with asset building. And how to crush the existing debt? There are methods to eliminate existing debt. Number one, avalanche method. What does this mean? Rank all your loans from highest interest rate to lowest. Direct any extra payments towards the highest interest debt while making minimum payments on everything else. This approach saves you the most money mathematically. Credit cards are the highest interest rate loans which charge you up to 42% annually should typically be your first target. Second one, for the psychological wins you want, that is snowball method. Popularized by Dave Ramsey, this approach ranks loans by outstanding balance, starting with the smallest. Pay that off first, then roll that payment into the next smallest, creating a momentum. And the final one is Blizzard method. This is my favorite one. This hybrid approach starts with paying off one or two small debts for quick wins, then pivot to the highest interest debts. It balances psychological motivation with mathematical optimization. For maximum impact, pair these methods with bi-weekly payments instead of monthly to reduce interest and make extra payments annually. Building a separate emergency fund to avoid future emergency borrowing. Quarterly reviews to adjust your strategy based on changing circumstances. And the founder of Vanguard, Jack Bogle, once said, the greatest enemy of a good plan is the dream of a perfect plan. This greatly applies to me. Don't get paralyzed seeking the perfect debt reduction strategy. Pick one approach and start today. Expert perspectives. Let's broaden our understanding with insights from financial experts. Raghuram Rajan, former RBI governor, says when credit finances productive assets, it's healthy. When it funds consumption, it becomes dangerous. This perfectly summarizes our distinction between good and bad debt. The RBI Financial Stability Report 2024 warns about rising delinquencies in credit cards and buy now pay later schemes, signaling potential trouble ahead for many households. A leading financial psychologist, Dr. Arun Kumar, notes that we are seeing three recurring patterns: status anxiety, financial illiteracy, and avoidance behavior. For many, debt is more psychological than mathematical. I would share a real world transformation I witnessed. One of my client, 34-year-old sales manager from Hyderabad. He is one of my client who came first to me about his debt issues. His situation looked challenging. His monthly income was around 95K. That's a good one. But his total EMI was around 48K. That is 50% of his income. This included two maxed out credit cards, a high interest personal loan, and he has zero emergency savings. This led to him a constant anxiety about his finances. Here's what we planned and implemented: consolidated his high interest debts through a top up loan on favorable terms, refinanced his remaining personal loan to save on interest, applied the Blizzard method for systematic repayment. And we also started a modest 3K SIP in a debt fund as a safety net. This created a basic emergency fund using cashback and side hustle income. The results after almost 1.5 years were remarkable. Both credit cards completely paid off. Even his personal loan closed ahead of schedule. And we created around 70K of emergency corpus in the same time. Now, saving 10K into his equity funds. This is a great achievement for him, and his stress level dramatically reduced and his financial confidence restored. As we wrap, let me leave you with a practical debt detox checklist. Maintain a debt to income ratio below 25%. Avoid status driven borrowing entirely. Plan loan repayments with parallel SIPs. Implement either one of the methods for debt reduction strategies. refinance, and consolidate where advantageous, automate payments, and track progress with digital tools. Build and maintain an emergency fund equal to 3 to 6 months of your expenses. Budget proactively and review monthly. Let me close with this powerful quote from the famous Warren Buffett. The first rule of investment is don't lose, and the second rule of investment is don't forget the first rule. And when it comes to debt, the equivalent wisdom is borrow only for what appreciates, never for what depreciates. Remember, financial freedom isn't about having everything you want, it's about controlling your money rather than being controlled by it. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Wealth Your Way by Finsights. We hope this information helps you move one step closer to defining and achieving your unique version of financial success. If today's episode got you thinking about your own rich life and how to achieve it, why not take the first step with Finvestin? Whether you are looking to optimize your savings, plan for your retirement, or make smarter investment decisions, we can help you create a personalized financial roadmap. Visit finvestin.com or drop a message on WhatsApp at 799 555 to schedule a free consultation. Let's turn your financial goals into a reality. Remember to subscribe to our Wealth Your Way episode on Spotify so you never miss our twice a weekly episode. If you found value in today's discussion, share it with someone who might benefit. This is your host, Naren, signing off. Until next time, remember that wealth isn't just about money, it's about creating the freedom to live your life on your own terms.